The so-called scientific community is a lie. It's a lie. They do nothing but lie. They're not about science at all. They're for their own individual agendas, or the agendas of the elite. Now, we all know the earth is flat. Anybody with two eyes knows that the earth is flat. And I don't even have to explain it at this point. I've made 3 videos about it. The earth is flat, and that's a fact. I was on a plane on my trip to Universal Studios. At 360 degrees all around, the earth was flat. No matter which way I went, the earth was flat. Evidence will tell you the earth is flat. Are we really a planet moving thousands of miles per hour, millions of miles per hour around the universe? Yet when we look at the sky, the stars are completely still. Are you a complete moron just believing whatever these so-called scientists say without even... I mean, all these scientists, Bill Nye the Science Guy, he's not even a freaking scientist. Yet somehow he's the voice of the entire scientific community. Like, seriously, he has no experience with science. He's run no tests. He's only did stuff he's told. He doesn't have a mind of his own. He has no scientific mind of his own. The only real studies he's done is textbook 5th grade elementary school science experiments. Like, he's not an actual scientist. I mean, that's not true. We're all scientists in our own way. You could be a scientist. I could be a scientist. We all observe our surroundings and come to our own conclusions. But what these so-called scientists are saying is, oh, believe me and whatever I say, or else you're an idiot, or else you're 1,000 years in the past. Oh, the earth isn't flat. I mean, yes, it is. It is. Like, every conceivable explanation points it to being flat. And now the flat earth movement is getting more and more exposure. 2 years ago, people would have called me crazy for even mentioning flat earth. Like, come on now. But now more and more people are starting to see things the right way, their way, the way of actual common sense. I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson literally said the earth was pear-shaped without any proof, without any studies or quotes from any actual credible organization. And he just said, yep, the earth is actually pear-shaped. It's not actually a perfect sphere. I mean, what sort of moron believes him at this point? Not a perfect sphere, even though every NASA so-called photograph has been an exact perfect sphere. So whose side is he on? At first he says the earth is the pictures from NASA are real, and now he's saying the earth is actually pear-shaped. And now I don't know what he's doing. These scientists just defend NASA, defend mainstream science with their dying breath. Mainstream science is the same science that tells you to get on medications to cure your depression. The same science that tells you all this stuff is good for you. GMOs is good for you. Like, what sort of moron would actually believe mainstream science at this point? I mean, you'd hate... I mean, and what pisses me off is these so-called truth channels will say, oh yeah, GMOs are bad for you, don't believe the scientists. Oh yeah, the moon landing was fake, don't believe the scientists. Oh, all this stuff is bad, don't believe the scientists. But these same people will be defending the whole globe earth theory. They will be defending the globe earth theory with their dying breath. They'll say, oh no, the earth isn't flat. That's crazy. You're crazy. How could you have a mind for your own? You're crazy. Oh, you're clinically insane for believing something that's different. I mean, what is this? What kind of Orwellian world are we living in, where people are instantly ridiculed for having different ideas? I mean, come on now. When we're supposed to be civilized, we're anything but civilized. Matter of fact, we're worse than the civilizations back then, due to the sheer amount of stupidity our society is displaying. I mean, come on now. I mean, the shape of the earth has... I mean, come on. Like, is there anybody who can even prove that the Earth is round without referencing fake CGI pictures generated by NASA. Like, come on. Nobody. They can't. They can't because it doesn't exist. There is no picture of the Earth from space. There is none unless it's a composite. And composites are fake. NASA even admits their pictures are fake. And if NASA admits it, how the hell do you not believe me? Even they are admitting it. They can't disprove the things we're saying. They just can't. I mean, anyone with any experience in Photoshop can instantly tell you that the pictures from the Earth from space are fake. Every single one. No stars. Nothing. Ever. And it gets worse and worse. It looks so unbelievably fake, and people believe it with their dying breath because they're so freaking close-minded. I mean, people are so close-minded, it's unbelievable. Just being spoon-fed information that they were taught to believe since they were like 6 years old. Oh, we're living on Earth, a planet that's round. No, planets don't even exist. I mean, when you look at, I'm serious, planets don't exist. Space doesn't exist. We only believe it because we're told. And all you guys saying, oh, you're going a little bit too far there, saying planets don't exist. I mean, look at the sky. No, they're literally just beams of light that we say are planets. Like, seriously, when you think about it, like, if you observe the actual movements of the stars, then you'll see that the movements don't actually correlate to solar systems and all this other stuff we've been spoon-fed. I mean, come on now. If one thing's flat, then it's probably all flat. I mean, who knows? We could be living in a real-life Truman Show. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, Antarctica is the edge of the Earth. And we could just be blocked in and living in some sort of simulation for aliens or whatever. I'm not saying this is true. I'm just saying it's a theory. I mean, we don't know what's going on. And since it was made illegal to travel anywhere around Antarctica, then we'll never know unless we break the norm of hating people that believe differently on the shape of the Earth. And it's getting worse and worse, and they can't contain it. I'm just sitting back and laughing because they've already they messed up. I mean, come on now. They're not even trying to conceal it anymore. They're not even trying to conceal their fakeness. NASA will even tell you that their pictures are fake, and more people are waking up, especially with the internet. If the internet hadn't existed, then none of this stuff would have even reached like the surface. It would have never reached the surface. But now we're having more of a voice. People that actually are for truth, that aren't for believing whatever they're told, they're having more and more of a voice. And now the people running the internet, running YouTube, want to censor people like me and you for having a different opinion, because they want to build a different narrative. And there's going to be more false flags, there's going to be more fake stories to try to push an agenda, and we have to ignore those stories and expose them, or else we're not going to have any freedom, we're not going to have any rights, we're not going to have any freedom of expression, nothing. We're not going to have anything. So we have to fight for those rights, and we have to actually expose these truths. And someday, somehow, they're going to have to let us go to Antarctica and find out for ourselves. And who knows what we'll find. Peace.
So you spin, when you spin pizza dough, it kind of flattens out. Yeah. It gets wider in the middle. And so Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning, and it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere, it's oblate, and officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
Yeah. Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped. Pear-shaped.